John Lusk here of Lusk Archery Adventures. Serious testing, successful hunting. I've got another broadhead to test today, and it's by Black Widow Innovations, and this is their NEUROTOXIN. Thanks to a buddy of mine, Luke, who sent me a pack of these, I'm going to put them to the test using all the test regimen that I have for 2022. And for an explanation about that regimen and all the different tests, as well as how this head scored in each of those categories, you can read about it in the description box below this video. And I'm going to be using my Bowtech SR6 set at 72 pounds and Bishop FOC King arrows for most of the shots, but then I'll be using the Bishop Fat Eliminators for the really hard impact shots. So let's zoom on in here and check out this NEUROTOXIN and then put it to the test. Here's a good look at the NEUROTOXIN. This is the 3-blade head by Black Widow Innovations. The cutting diameter is 1 1/8 inches. And the blades are 0.035 inches thick, stainless steel, sharpened on the front as well as on the back. The tip is A2 tool steel, which is really nice in a broadhead application like this, especially in the tip, because it increases the impact resistance about twofold, a little more than twofold, compared to normal stainless steel like most heads will have. So another cool thing about this head is that it comes with these extra chisel tips, 3 in each package, which you can replace this tip for this one, and it goes from 100 grain, like this one is, to 125 grain. And not only that, but that extra 25 grains is really helping the broadhead's performance. See, sometimes there's an extra modularity by adding a thicker washer to the back of the ferrule and the back end of the broadhead, and that's good for a weight standpoint, but it's not as good as adding an extra strong tip. So this will actually increase the durability with this extra strong tip, and it puts more of the weight up front, so it'll increase the FOC. So I really like that about it. Now, on the package, on one side of the package, it says the ferrule is made out of A2 tool steel as well. That would be really awesome. On the back of the package, it says that the ferrule is made out of aluminum. So I kind of not sure which one is right, though I think, because they advertise it so big on the front, I think the ferrule is actually A2 tool steel, and that's a nice combination to have the ferrule and the tip both A2 tool steel. That's just going to give extra durability. Now, I will note one of the things that I didn't really care for about some of these heads is that in most of them, this was 2 out of 3, that when you put the blades in, even though everything is as tight as it can be, you get like 1 or 2 blades that are loose. In this one, you got this blade is pretty loose. And so that's problematic. Now, maybe you could mix and match with the other blades in the other heads and maybe get it all to line up perfectly. It's probably a tolerance issue, but that is an oversight on their part and a quality control issue. Another thing to note, they come with these little bases that when you take them off of your arrow, you can screw them into the base, and you want to do that for storage because the blades fall out of the ferrule really easily. And it's kind of a pain, like more so than most heads like this. It's kind of a pain to get them all lined up and hold them in place and make sure they don't slide out because they slide out really easily. But it's nice that they come with that base to help fix that problem. So I'm really eager to see how this NEUROTOXIN performs. $200. It's the one on the top, and it penetrated 7 3/4 inches. $250. It penetrated through 63 layers. After 3 shots through the MDF, the head is still in perfect condition. You really can't tell it's even been shot. Here's the head after 2 shots through the steel plate, and as you can see, it's in really good shape. There just was a bit of nicking to the blade edges, and as for the holes, you can see they're the type where it's just a round hole and then 3 slits, as opposed to a real triangular hole like some heads make. So here's the head after impacting the concrete, and as you can see, it basically fell apart. Now, the ferrule actually remained really straight, which is impressive. The tip stayed in the concrete, and it just stripped out the threading in the back. So it stayed in. The whole rest of the arrow and the ferrule came back out, which allowed all the blades to just escape freely because they're held in place by that tip. And I was only able to find one of the blades. The rest, I don't know where they are, somewhere in my room here. I'm gonna have to go on a search before I walk around in bare feet. So what'd you think of the neurotoxin? You know, it had some really good strengths. The flight and the penetration were really good. And you'd expect that with such a low profile, relatively small cut head. The durability was not up to par for what I would expect in a 3-blade, fixed blade head like that. But the biggest concern was the quality control. You know, even in the packaging, just there was contradictory information on each side of the packaging itself. And then for the blades in 2 of the 3 heads, to have some significant rattle to them there, they got to work on their tolerances. And maybe I just got the one package that was like that, but I kind of doubt that. So, you know, you take that for what it's worth, and check out the score sheet to see how it performed in the areas that matter to you the most.